What's going on, gang? How y'all doing? It's your boy Phantom Fuego. PHANTM PHUEGO. And you are tuned into his Ghetto Point of View. I bring you the news, views, previews, and reviews. With just a twist of his Ghetto Point of View. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. Hope everything good for you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Got that CB Dizzle going. Shout out to AJ's Kitchen too. They made me some of your amazing CBD infused cookies the other day. Just brought me a fresh batch by the studio. It was a beautiful thing. AJ's Kitchen at gmail.com. Now serving infused food as well. AJ's Kitchen at gmail.com. AJSKITCHINN. AJ's Kitchen at gmail.com. Happiness served. Order up. Proudly serving NYC area. Alright. How the heck are you guys though? Part of me that we had to, it was some technical difficulties going on Wednesday that unfortunately permitted my broadcast to go out and rolled into about Friday. So I said, you know what? I'll take it as a sign. We'll jump back in fresh on Sunday and get to it like you know how we do it. Right? So, oh man, this week has been crazy. This week has been absolutely crazy. I gotta take my time with today, y'all. Because, of course, you know, there's a lot of crazy things going on in the world. There's a lot of crazy things going on in the country, the United States. A lot of crazy things going on in the world. Literally, parts of the world are at war right now. Parts of the world are having insane protests. A lot of parts of the world are being re-locked down. Some parts of the United States are going back into massive lockdowns. Massive lockdowns are now hitting certain particular areas in NYC. They've said as of Monday they'll be reclosing restaurants and gyms. I believe as well as a part of that. So things are getting hairy in the city that never sleeps. Because if people have to be home, but they never sleep, I mean, you know, it doesn't give them much to do. But some people have taken this time to do some self-work, go within themselves, acquire new skills, and find amazing things that they love to do, hobbies, new trades, what have you. And they're taking this time to really reimagine their place in the world, their place in life, and figuring out the best way to move forward despite everything. And those are the people that's always going to win, those who are easy to adapt and, you know, quick to adjust and change. Those that haven't, though, those that have kind of just taken this time as a vacation, or those that have kind of just taken this time and unfortunately not been able to, for whatever reason, move forward, you know, unfortunately you do put yourself at risk of being left behind as things transition. Because things will never be the same again. They'll never be the same again. No. I'm silly, y'all, but for real, things will never be the same again. Like, we are transitioning into a new time, a new era. We're transitioning into a new phase of life, a new, you know what I mean, a new age, some people would even say, you know, those who are on the astrological wave, you know, the age of Aquarius actually officially starts in a few days for those that are, you know, astrologically or astronomically, you know, astute, inclined. You know, if you support or believe in those type of things, you understand the astronomy, the astrology, the stars, how they're plotted and how they move, zodiac and all of that. You know, the age of Aquarius starts in a few days. Some people say that is going to lead to a ton a ton of differences. People are going to feel different. People are going to, have a different aura about them. People are going to have a different energy about them. And it'll be very interesting to see how this happens. So December 21st, 2020 is the transition into the Aquarian age, leading out of the Piscean age, or the age of Pisces. Shout to my Pisces, shout to Team Pisces. I'm a Pisces. I don't know as much about astrology and astronomy as maybe I should, or cosmology, the cosmos, as maybe I should, but I've never really had an opportunity to delve deep in that, studying media, studying art, studying film, studying audio, studying all the different things that I've learned: history, business, religion, cultures. But some religions are based on the astronomy and astrology. So I will, when I have some time, delve deeper. People like, what you waiting for, Phantom? They got For Dummy books, dummy. That's a fact. They do have For Dummy books for dummies like myself. But I be reading so many other books, I don't really have the time sometimes. And I've been into audiobooks a lot lately, just trying to, even when I don't have the time to fully turn pages, trying to make sure I can, get in some type of information. So I've been working my way through a lot of books, working my way through a lot of information. Stuff that I would definitely argue is very helpful. Well, what are you reading, Phantom? At the suggestion of many people who say it's been changing their lives, I've actually been reading Becoming Superhuman by Dr. D'Souza. It's a great book. He's also written a lot of other stuff on, reformatting your brain and not having to, how to change who you are in positive, healthy, well-balanced, mature ways that, take into account mind, body, and spirit. So, it's really been good. I'm very early into it. So those who also have read it or are reading it, please feel free to get at me. EQ is his ghetto point of view at gmail.com. His ghetto point of view at gmail.com. It's about to talk about my EQ is Life series. Any music producers out there, check me out on YouTube. EQ is Life. Got about 50-60 videos done so far of just different, small tips and tricks as far as production goes, different rules, techniques, ways to really enhance your productions with one of the most powerful tools that are available for that, the equalizer, aka the EQ. It's pretty dope. EQ is life. EQ is life. EQ is life. It's all over YouTube. Check it out. For those that are, maybe some tips or tricks for those, just audio junkies like myself who, just like to see other people's perspectives or approaches when it comes to how they like to operate when they're working in DAWs, DAWs, or different programs or softwares. So check that out. But anyway, his ghetto point of view at gmail.com. His ghetto point of view at gmail.com is where you could get at me, gang. Yeah, so I've been reading it. Listen, man, it's been just the first few chapters, a very eye-opening, awakening, very interesting. Starts off about this lady who, I don't want to give away the book, but she really goes through a very hard time in her life, and by doing some inner work, focusing on herself, meditating, changing her mindset, and realizing that it took a strong, concerted effort of energy, time to get herself into the life that she's in. It would also take a strong, concerted, consistent effort of energy, time, and focus to slowly peel out of that. So she was, terminally ill, had a lot of different financial and personal relationship problems, and was able to really get herself out of all of that stuff, even down to the point where she was able to start recreating saliva in her mouth because, her palate had got, damaged, and, she was going through a lot of disease, depending on who you, the type of school of thought you subscribe to. Some people feel disease is just dis-ease of the body that, can be, some people would argue starts before it physically hurts you in your mind and your spirit, and how you and how you allow that the environment you're existing in to, weigh down on you and cause you damage. So, it's a really dope book, man. And, somebody like myself who's going through all these physical ailments, all these injuries I got, I'm just looking for different ways to try to, heal up from different levels, mentally, spiritually, physically. And, I feel like the more all of those different levels of healing are working and activated, the more holistic my approach to healing can become. And because I feel a holistic, more well-rounded approach to healing will be much more beneficial to me going forward, so I can really start to get back into the swing of things as soon as I can. Dr. D'Souza's book, Being Supernatural, really dope. Definitely recommend to read. How you guys been on, man? How's y'all week been? It's kind of crazy. Edge of your seat, kind of crazy. You know what I mean? We got everything from Texas's Supreme Court appeal being denied, and 17 different attorney generals jumping on with that. Trump acting to be a plaintiff in that. Then 106 or 126, depending on which report you read, at least 106 different House of Representatives members also trying to sign on to the report and co-signing and trying to push that narrative and give support behind Texas's position to try to overturn the election. And my only thing is this, and y'all can say, yo, Trav, yo, Phantom Fuego, you are bugging for this one. And I'll respect it. I'll eat that all day. But then I was having this conversation with somebody. So, and I guess it had to be Texas to do it. So, in thinking about it as I'm about to ask you guys this, I'm kind of answering it myself from my perspective at least. But, if all of these different states had this issue, you know what I'm saying? You got 106 different House of Representatives representing several different states across the country. You got 17 different attorney generals signing on to the amicus brief, they call it, or your statement of why you feel you need to put your support or rally behind a particular petition to the court, right? Your statement, your official statement that goes on file. It's called an amicus brief, right? So you got all these people putting these amicus briefs up, and not only just them, but there's been other smaller politicians, more local, politicians, people in different smaller offices that have also signed on. Like a total of 400 something people signed on so far. So you're telling me all of these different people felt this way and did nothing. Now I understand they were all Republicans, but you have Republicans that have also disagreed with it. Senator Lindsey Graham is, to the point where he's appalled and embarrassed for, according to some news stories, and some of the words out of his mouth seem like he's becoming a little perturbed and bothered by this multiple recounts, and he feels that the Republican Party should maintain a sense of dignity and class, even in taking an L, even if they want to argue that the L might not have come in the most up and up way. You know what I mean? There might have been a couple things under the table here, a couple things under the table here, maybe some huge things under the table, maybe some mass things under the table. Take your L. Take your L. Take your L like a G. Take your L like a champ. And move on. People like Senator Graham feel like he may be, the legal team of Donald Trump may unfortunately do more damage than good if if this process doesn't, get to make its way to the Supreme Court and judges are not willing to hear the case, all you're doing is showing to the world how allegedly you feel there's a lot of dishonesty and, corruption, collusion, just plain cheating going on in our election for our highest office. And of course there's corruption and collusion and cheating, and that goes on in politics all the time. But the level at which they are claiming it is happening is so massive that it's like you can really lose the trust of other nations when it comes down to doing business with them, and you can lose any relationships you've built with other nations and with people in your own nation and in your own party by continuing to push when it may no longer be anywhere to push to. And this is only continuing to rile up supporters, because 74 million people voting for you, if that's the official tally, that's a ton of people to vote for you, to galvanize behind you, and who now could be resistant to anything anybody else in office would try to do that is not your party. So that's just a little unfortunate. But listen, there's a lot of good arguments on both sides, and I'd say it would be dope if the court would hear it, so that the court could at least give a particular reason to why. But unfortunately, the court has decided not to hear it, and in their statements that they wrote out, they were very brief and said, Texas just doesn't really have any jurisdiction. There's nothing the court can do for Texas in this matter. Texas, it wasn't an interstate issue. It was this state personally handling things within its state. Now, whether it did things accurately or inaccurately in its state, that's a different conversation. But from one state to try to attack another state or put another state on trial for this, it's hard. And yes, we all share one president, so I can definitely understand Texas's perspective that it does affect them at the end of the day because we all share that president. We all share that vice president. It's not like we all have our own presidents and vice presidents. We have governors, we have mayors, we have, state and city councils, state and city elected officials, borough elected officials, town elected officials, all of that. Which some people would argue have more of an effect on your direct life, and we really need to take all this energy and put it into our local elections. And hopefully that, happens out of all this. People really start to pay more attention, and we can really start to get people constantly involved in the political process, because that's very dope, and you really can't change things if you're not a part of the change. Things can change around you without you lifting a finger to change them, but you can't really complain about the speed or the quality of the change or the type of change if you don't personally lend your energy to it. So there's that. So I can definitely understand why Texas and these other states' attorney generals and these at least 100, 106, 126, up to 400 people in total may feel a ways and feel like, this is whoever y'all select is going to be our president too. We have grievances with this. We need recounts. We need y'all to pause y'all electoral college. We need to look at this again. I hear both sides. But the judges, the people you brought this in front of, who y'all gave the authority to make the decision, it's like, nah. Ain't nothing to see here. There is no way I can justify allowing you to tell people in PA or in Georgia or in Wisconsin or in Arizona, Nevada, how to run their elections. You want to go live in one of those places for like 10 years and then become involved in the political process in that place, and then that way you can change things from within there, be my guest. But each state has its own jurisdiction, whether we love that or hate that. And yes, the federal courts are supposed to be the overseer of that, but even the federal courts try as much as they can. In some instances, they do overreach their power. They be nosy as hell. They be all up in the business of the states and the cities and the boroughs. But in some instances, they try to let these states resolve it. I think either way at this point, some people are going to be insanely mad. And when I say some people, I'm talking about tens of millions of people. So we would hope that this thing doesn't lead into a civil war, but it's starting to look crazy out there. You got people loading up guns on both sides and ready to get to it, no matter who wins. I hope that doesn't happen. But I'm not unrealistic neither. And some people feel this thing could pop off at any moment. Some people feel if Biden wins, it's going to pop off. Some people feel if Trump wins, it's going to pop off. I feel, either way, some people are going to be mad and it might pop off. Let's just hope it doesn't pop off on such a large scale that people don't feel a random need to just go outside and start being violent and reckless and, putting themselves and their families' lives in jeopardy. Because this ain't a movie, dog. This ain't a movie, dog. You will not make it back home. This is not a video game. This ain't Call of Duty. This ain't Doom. This ain't Modern Warfare. This ain't none of that. These are the real streets. You will really get the shit beat out of you. You will really get shot the fuck up. Even those people who's nice with their hands, even those people that's third degree, sixth degree, 10th degree black belts, 9th dons, people that's red belts and have created their own styles. You know what I'm saying? Shouts to y'all. Bullets still hurt. Bullets still motherfucking hurt. If you Bruce Leroy, you getting out the way. Dope for you. Dope for you. Let somebody drop a bomb on your building. Get out the way of that. Get out the way of that. You Bruce Leroy. Your bulletproof vest, your flak jacket, your headgear. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got me some military gear. I'm good. You might have one of those, I'm saying, thin suits that take all type of bullets. Cool. That's one. You are one person. You may survive. Will your fam survive? You and your immediate fam might survive. Will your community survive? Will your neighbors survive? Will your neighborhood survive? Will your city survive? Will your state survive? Will you have to move? Will you have to try to escape to another state? Will you be trapped in a state that has an insane amount of damage? And you can't move, and you're just stuck in a state that's effed up, not getting no food supplies, not getting no truck supplies, that water gets messed up. I mean, there's so many scenarios, there's so many ways this thing could go left. I don't think enough people are thinking with a level head about the long-term consequences of a potential civil conflict. Red versus blue versus green, red and green versus blue and green versus red, however this thing would go. You know what I'm saying? The Poor Boys versus the Rich Boys. Sons of Liberty versus the Sons of Anarchy. However this thing's set up. The Americans versus the Nationals. What you mean? I thought an American and a National was the same thing. So did I. But apparently it's not. The Yankees versus the Nationals. You know what I'm saying? People that's down for the Constitution versus that's people that's down for what the Constitution should stand for. There's so many ways that this thing can get divided, so many different factions that can be created under bigger factions, so many wars that can break out, so many different conflicts that can arise. And if people don't figure out a way to get everybody to the table and get them talking and get people understanding one another, you know what I'm saying? It's about to get ugly up in here, up in here, up in here. It's gonna get ugly. Up in here. More ugly than it already is. You got people protesting in the city, getting ran over by cars. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it's real out here now. People protesting in other cities. Things can get really hairy right now. Violent protests going on. People being assaulted right now. People burning down flags. People burning American flags. People burning Confederate flags. People burning the flags for different groups like the Proud Boys. People burning different groups' flags. Black Lives Matter flags. Proud Boy flags. Different groups. The Oath Keepers flags and all that. The 3%ers flags being burned and damaged. You know what I mean? People going after people like that are a part of different groups like the NFC and the Huey Newton Gun Club, and things can get extremely hairy, extremely quick. We saw how that earlier this year gun sales went through the roof, and it has not tapered off, guys. The news stopped covering it, but gun sales have still been through the roof all year. And as things have rolled out and rolled through the year, those people have felt more confident that they made the right purchase in getting those firearms, and they've purchased more firearms, and more people got firearms. Now, firearms is only good for a few things. If you're using it for self-defense, for home defense, for family defense, you ain't doing nothing wrong, pimp. I believe in all that. You ain't doing nothing wrong, queen. Protect your home. Gun them down. Gun them down, gun them down. Put holes in them. But if you buying these things because you plan on, activating, getting out here, taking people's lives away because they disagreed with you from a political standpoint, did it have to come to that? You may feel it does. Did it have to come to that, though? I would argue no. I would argue that there are bigger and better things to lose our lives for than as the red or the blue takes over. Some people would say I'm crazy, I don't know what I'm talking about, and they would extremely disagree with me. That's fine. You are entitled to that, and I still love you. You see that? You see how that works there? That's fine. You entitled to that. I still love you. It's no, I'm done. I'm gonna never speak to you again. I'm gonna lose my number. I'm gonna block you on all social medias. I'm gonna block you on my phone. If I see you in the streets, it's holes on sight. I might run you over with my car. I'm joining this militia. You join that militia, and let's meet in the streets and get to it. And some people would be like, well, that's the Civil War, that's, violence is just as much a part of this country's history as everything else, and that's a whole fact. But I would argue if we have not learned the lessons of those bloody episodes in our history. Because if this country has learned the lessons of those bloody episodes in its history, then I would argue we would do more to not see a bunch of young men, young women. Because these days, the military, the factions, the militias fighting would be full of both men and women. I'd argue that we wouldn't be so quick to be eager to take a life or lose a life. To be eager to have a family not have their father or their mother, or their father and their mother, or their uncles, or their brothers, or their sons, or their daughters. I'd argue that we would take more time to think. People continue to forget our history, and when we forget history, we are doomed to repeat it. This is kind of why I wasn't the biggest fan of removing all the statues from the Civil War era, etc. Because if those statues no longer exist, and we don't talk about it in schools as much as we should, these things are not really entertaining or engaging to most people around. You know, there's a lot of people that just want to, watch the game, pop some tabs, toss shots back all night, shake their groove thing, and have a good time. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Get your energy up and get your love off. But if you are not taking also some of that time to learn your history, your country's history, your people's history, your place in history, your family's place in history, your community's place in history, then my friend, famo, and I mean that with the PH, because everything is PH around here. The PH balanced, see me? If we're not taking the time to do that, then we are really just setting ourselves up for failure. And we're setting ourselves up to repeat the mistakes of our past. And when I say failure, I feel there are no winners in war, especially an internal war where two sides of the same team now have split and are going at each other. Oh, we not a part of them red mother. Oh, we can't stand them blue dudes. Sound very familiar, don't it? Pardon me, guys, having a bit of had a little sneeze going on there. But anyway, like it just sounds so familiar, don't it? It sounds like stuff we hear in the streets. Some people will argue the boardrooms ain't nothing but a bunch of gangbangers. The police ain't nothing but a bunch of gangbangers. The military ain't nothing but a bunch of gangbangers. Church is filled up with nothing but a bunch of gangbangers. Christians versus Baptists. Agnostics versus atheists. Atheists versus Christians. Jews versus Christians. Catholics versus Jews, and the list goes on and on. So is it anything but just a bunch of high level gangbanging, bunch of high level tribalism, aligning yourself with that which you feel comfortable with, and saying screw everybody else. If that's what you like, good for you. I would argue the world is a bit bigger than that. And we should have friends in all walks of life, even people we don't agree with, even people we don't see eye to eye with. Because how do you gauge life? How do you gauge yourself? If the only people around you are people who agree with everything you say and everything you do. People who feel like you can do no wrong. And people who feel like your ish don't stink. People who feel like everything you do is so amazing. And people who think exactly the way you do, every single thought down to the last word, the last drop, the last iota. They dot their I's and cross their T's exactly like you do. Y'all feel the same about everything. Movies, music, religious beliefs, sports, life, family life, politics. If you feel the same exact way about everything, about everyone in your circle, then that's a very limited circle, and a circle you will never grow in. Because who can challenge you? And the only way you can grow is through a challenge. The only way you can grow is through challenges. Life is all about challenges, and those challenges elevate you to the next phase if you're ready to go. Or you'll stay where you at. And you can stay where you at, and your group of people who all think like you and parrot everything you say, repeat what you say verbatim, and you repeat what they say verbatim. And that you could feel like, yo, y'all are a secure place. Y'all are a safe space to just let it hang loose. That's cool. That's dope. Ain't nothing wrong with having secure, safe spaces where you feel comfortable just to express yourself. But there is a huge problem, to me, my humble opinion, my simple perspective, his ghetto point of view. From his ghetto point of view, I feel that's some sucker-ish, because you will never grow. You will never know how people outside of that circle feel or think about anything. And we also can do that with the books we read. We can read books only by authors who agree with us. We can watch blogs and vlogs and listen to radio shows from people who only side with the way we think about things. From time to time, I gotta sit down and listen to people who I don't agree with at all. Because even as old people say, even a broke can watch is right twice a day. So people I have tons of disagreements with can say things that will make me think, make me re-examine myself, make me re-examine my approach to things, make me grow, challenge me. They may be completely wrong, but in them challenging me, it gives me an opportunity to stand on my square, stand on what I believe in, stand on what I hold dear, true, and what I feel is right, and allows me to express it to people who may hate every single word that comes out of my mouth. But you know what? I love those opportunities. I love to talk to people who I have no type of similarities with. I like to talk to people from different parts of the country, different parts of the world, different walks of life, people that been through things that I could never understand, and I like to express to them the things that they would never understand, how I've made it through. Because I feel in those exchanges, that's when true dopeness is found. That's when you really a flamethrower. You know what I'm saying? Not when you could just do it in a room full of pyrotechnics, but when you could go into a room full of people who throw water, you could hit them with a flame. You know you got something. Now, whether you right or wrong or indifferent, you can get better clarity and understanding on things by having the opposite put in your face, the contrast. Because, maybe you've never seen the opposite side. Maybe you would really like the other side if you just knew about it more, if you had more of an understanding. And those type of understandings take time, take patience, take an open mind, take particular personality that will be down with being critiqued and being ridiculed. That takes a lot of strength. That takes a lot of power. That takes a lot of stamina. That takes a lot of capability. That takes a lot of faith and belief in yourself, faith and belief in the things you believe, faith and belief in how amazing you are. Because if you don't have an open mind and you don't have faith in yourself, then if you are dead wrong and you need to change, you won't have the faith or belief or the understanding or the confidence to know you can make those changes. You'll be stuck in a rut. And now, as you go about your life and doing the things you do, you'll know they're wrong. But you'll feel like you're stuck. You're hopeless. You're destitute. You on an island and ain't no ship coming. You shipwrecked. You effed up. You out of gas. You done smoked your last bit of that good stuff and ain't nothing coming. That's the type of feeling that can start to be brought up when that hopelessness arrives. So I understand why a lot of people don't want to, have conversations with people outside of these circles. They like to be the big fish in a small pond, or they like to just be around a bunch of yes men or yes women, or, yes people. They like to just be around a bunch of people of like-mindedness. But then when do you ever get questioned? When do you ever get critiqued? When do you ever get pulled to the side and say, hey, I like that, but I don't know about this? When do people ever say, hey, like Miles Morales in Spider-Man, hey, Nah, I mean, but seriously though, if you never are challenged, if you never have other people in your circle that you can respect their point of view, even if it's 360 degrees opposite of yours. Well, 180 degrees opposite of yours, because 360 will put you right back where you at. But if they're polar opposite, if they completely disagree with you on everything, and not just one of those people that just like to be oppositional. I mean, people that really have true, strong beliefs and convictions and a real good moral compass based on what they believe in. It's just completely different than what your vibe is. Those are the best type of people to sit down and vibe with before you feel like you need to pick up a gun. Because you may realize, and even all your differences, that might be more alike than you think. And I feel like far too often, this country is really built upon keeping us all divided from one another and making us all see our differences as so much greater than what our similarities could possibly ever be. We will never know if we have any similarities. And those small factions are now all up in arms and angry and mad. And they strapping up and they protesting and they got live rounds. For those that don't know what live rounds are, that means the bullets they will shoot will maim, hurt, or kill the people they are fired upon. This ain't a movie, dog. This ain't a video game. Somebody hits you with some hot slugs, you can't brush the dirt off your shoulders. You better get that dirt off your shoulders. Hey, know what I mean? But personal opinion, his ghetto point of view. I wish we could just figure out ways to make this work without having a guilty conflict, because there's so many bigger, deeper issues that we could fight for as a collective than we'll get resolved with us fighting in the streets among one another. You could disagree with me. Feel free to send all your disagreements to hisghettopointofview@gmail.com. hisghettopointofview@gmail.com. HISGHETTOPOINT. His Ghetto Point of View, VIEW. His Ghetto Point of View @gmail.com. Send the hate, send the love, send the anger, curse me out, tell me I'm bugging, send me a video message saying I'm crazy, send me video links to things that would change my perspective, because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm just a dumb son of, you know what I mean? I'm just a dumb son of, you know what I'm saying? I'm a dumb SOB. I'm illiterate, I'm retarded. Whatever you feel, send it my way. Send it my way. And we gonna do it. We gonna talk. We gonna build. You know why? Because I love y'all. Y'all take y'all time out. Y'all vibe out. Y'all listen. And y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate it and love it so dearly. So I would never do anything but give you my time and my support in any way I can. Because I'm eternally grateful for everyone who takes a moment out to listen. Please, guys, feel free to just hit that notification bell. Make sure you let people know. Tell a friend and tell a friend. His Ghetto Point of View. Wednesdays and Sundays, we get it in. Take a quick break. We'll be right back. Shit. We back, guys. Yeah, so crazy news out of New York City. 4 Chipotle employees were allegedly bitten by rats at a Manhattan location where they were working. So the place has been summarily closed down, but Yeah, this is just really crazy. According to Pix 11, rat infestation closes Manhattan Chipotle. This is not, like right in the middle of the city. 4 workers are alleging they were bitten. So a rat infestation at a Manhattan Chipotle restaurant resulted in 4 employees being bitten by rodents over the span of several days, according to a local union. Workers allege at the Chipotle at 4009 Broadway. See, this is not even, that's in a nice, that's not even a, but anybody that knows anything about Manhattan and New York City knows there is a huge rodent infestation in New York City. Some people say, oh, the rodents always go where all the riches are. So I guess that's supposed to be good. I don't know what to say when people say shit like that. But anyway, workers allege that the Chipotle at 4009 Broadway continued to serve customers even as the infestation worsened. I mean, what is a restaurant supposed to do? I mean, that's staying in the business and getting money. Now they're calling on the fast food chain to put workers' safety above the company's bottom line. Good luck with that. Chipotle worker Luis Gustavo Paulino Ruiz said he was bitten by a rat while moving boxes. It was terrifying. If something happened to me, my pregnant wife in the Dominican Republic would be left with no support. He said it. He said Wednesday in a statement released by the 32BJ chapter of the Service Employees International Union. Ruiz also said that he was not the first employee to be bitten. When the first worker at my store was bitten by a rat, Chipotle did nothing. It felt like the company didn't value us as people. They only cared about their own profits, Ruiz said. We told the manager that the rat problem was getting worse and worse. Workers had to chase the rats and try to kill them. I killed 2 rats with a stick. I felt uncomfortable every day. And my co-workers and I were all scared of getting bitten. Now, hold on. Now, I've worked at some pretty crazy jobs in my day. Like, I've worked at Popeyes and all that. So, I've done the fast food thing, but Chipotle is more like supposed to be a more upscale dining experience. It's still fast food, but it's supposed to be more upscale. Fast food is supposed to be, real fresh, and it's supposed to offer all these different additional things and, allegedly better service than you would get at a regular fast food spot. So this is just kind of crazy, and I never was bitten by no rat working at a place full of rats. Popeyes. Like, when we would go down to the basement, oh man, the rats down there would be crazy when we had to take out the garbage and stuff. It was insane. But what never happened? What never happened was me getting bit by a rat. I was never told to kill rats, beat rats, move rats, nothing. The only time I moved rats was when I worked at Petland Discount, because they were actually the animals we were selling to feed to people, snakes and stuff. They're called feeders. And, we had them in different sizes. They were white rats. And we had the small ones, medium ones, large ones, or mice, whatever. I'm sorry, it might have been mice. But anyway, I mean, these I can't tell the difference. Like, them shits is all huge and looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? And but they were pretty docile. Like, they never scared me. They never tried to bite me or nothing. Like, you grab them by the tail. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't try to do nothing. They didn't try to attack, try to move all crazy, because I guess they were more accustomed to already being pets or food. So they knew that's what time it was. When you came out, when you went there to get some of them to serve to somebody, they knew they was going to die. A snake was about to put them in the belly. They say that things like that can be transferred intergenerationally. Like, if you were a good athlete, your children will be a good athlete. So I guess if you were a good feeder mouse, your children will be good feeder mice as well. You'll be docile. You'll be more inclined to just accept your fate. And I think there are lessons that people can learn from things like that. But anyway, I digress. So I never been bit by nothing except when I was working in a pet store, and I completely deserved it because I was not practicing proper safety, and I will leave it at that. I was acting like a freaking knucklehead, excuse me, I was acting a little. I was wilding. I was feeling myself a little too much, and I wasn't taking proper safety precautions. So whatever happened to me, whatever the short and long term effects of that were, I kind of gotta eat that. But anyway, yeah, man, I still have the mark on my finger right now. Bitten by a rather large reptile, and I'll leave it like that. But yeah. So LaAngelo, Chipotle's chief corporate affairs and food safety officer, said that the location has been closed for deep cleaning and pest control. The health and safety of our employees and our guests is our top priority. The Columbia Presbyterian restaurant in New York City has been mainly closed since November 23rd due to a pest problem caused by vacated adjoining restaurants. During this time, we have arranged emergency pest service. Vacated adjoining restaurants. So you saying that your restaurant has pests overflowing it from other people's restaurants? That's gas. Anyway, during this time, we have arranged. Okay, fine. So if that happened, and an employee informed you about it, allegedly, when the first employee got bit, was anything done? The second, oh no, it had to become a national news story, and now it's something you want to take care of. All right then, you get whatever you get. During this time, we have arranged emergency pest service, deep cleaning of the restaurant, and working with the landlord to ensure improvements are made before reopening. Shallow said in a statement to Pix 11 on Wednesday. The union alleges Chipotle was first notified of the rat infestation in October. Oh no, that's a month ahead, allegedly. And only closed the restaurant location after the general manager was bitten. Damn, 2 other employees had already been bitten by that point, according to the union. The NYC Health Department said in a statement it received a complaint about a location on November 30th and issued a warning letter, mailed the next day. Follow-up visits by an inspector and pest control took place Tuesday. The department said no active rat signs were observed, though they did not access the backyard, and the location was closed for cleaning and extermination. Anybody that knows anything about, food restaurants know, like, when you go out the back door, if that's where the garbage is contained, or they have them downstairs in the that's where the most vermin are going to be, where all of your dumpsters and your refuses, you're going to see a plethora of rodents. It seems like they conveniently didn't go those places, because I'm sure the people at Chipotle, and you can say I'm being a conspiracy, whatever. I'm sure the people at Chipotle know the people at the mayor's office. Chipotle is a multi-million-dollar company. Hundreds of millions of dollars is Chipotle makes every year. To think that they cannot cut a check to the right person and say, yo, be quiet. Shh, be quiet. Tonight is the night that we ride. You know they can do that. You know they can cut that check and say, hey, I supported your political ambitions. Don't throw me under the bus like this. Let me clean it up. I'm gonna take care of these employees. Let's get back to making this paper. It's good for you to have Chipotle in the city, because it's a nice upscale thing. People eat it at lunchtime. People go there on nice little inexpensive dates. People take the fam there, give the fam something different to eat, a different type of vibe. They serve alcoholic beverages there. I mean, it's a very nice experience if you're into the whole Chipotle thing. Some people think it's just nasty, fake Mexican food. There can definitely be some argument for that. But some people really enjoy it. Like, I've enjoyed every time I went to Chipotle. The food was very, very nice. The vibe was nice. I really went there for the drinks, but I ended up having a little something to eat while I was there. It's cool. It wasn't like, oh my god, I need to eat here every day. Like some people feel about Chipotle. I feel a lot of the people that feel that way about Chipotle are maybe out-of-towners who don't really get as much home-cooked food or don't really cook for themselves. So, it's a nice change of pace from just Chinese and, Chinese, a McDonald's, a Burger King, a standard fast foods, to have this place where you can get, a decent resemblance of a home-cooked meal. not a home cooked meal at all, but a decent resemblance of one. You know, they're making some of the things, you know, kind of fresh, and it's a hot meal. You know, people do a lot for a hot meal. Hot meals are very hard to come by as you become an older person, and you know, you start to really appreciate a nice hot meal, home cooked meal even more so. But you appreciate those things a lot as you get older. So people really rock with Chipotle. And then if you can go in there and get you a little drink, especially on lunch hour, happy hour, what have you, right after work, and grab some grub, you know, it's a nice thing to do for many people. Millions and millions of people patronize their stores every single day. And New York knows that businesses like that are good for the city. And with everything going on right now, they're going to definitely try to work that out as quickly as possible with the health department. So wish those workers nothing but the best, and I hope y'all get the bag and sue the crap out of Chipotle, because they had no right to put you in that type of environment. If everything you guys are alleging is true, that they made you kill rats with sticks and you got bitten doing that, y'all deserve to own Chipotle. Maybe y'all get to become, you know, entrepreneurs, and they'll let you guys have ownership of a store or two. But yeah, that can't stand. That can't rock at all. That's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I'm not for it. It couldn't have been me, because I'd have been in there. I'd have been on live. I'd have been killing the rats on live. Look at this, y'all. They got me killing rats on live. I'd have been live with it. Like, I'd have been on my IG and my Facebook. Yeah, I don't care. It wouldn't work no more. I was going to own the store. So, good luck with that. So I wish those people nothing but the best, and I hope that they don't have any long-term health issues, you know, not having to get tetanus or rabies shots, you know, because having to go through all that because, you know, you just wanted to have a job to help support yourself or your family, that's kind of disgusting when it's someplace that's supposed to be more of a upscale fast food environment, you know? Yuck. That's why I don't really like eating out too much. People say, oh, I'm lame for that. But I'd rather fast and go without than have to go through that type of nasty. I'm just keeping it all the way with y'all. I'd rather not eat for the whole day than deal with that. That's just disgusting. That is crazy. Even more disgusting news, guys, is those that are familiar with comedian Tiffany Haddish. You know, she had to recently reject a job hosting one of the Grammy pre-parties because it is alleged that it's not even alleged no more, because they came out and apologized. It's reported that, you know, USA Today had the story. They apologized to Tiffany. Grammy execs apologized to Tiffany Haddish after Star reveals why she turned down hosting gig. They told her she would have to come out her own pocket to cover the cost of streaming and you know, to be a host for free. And you have to cover all your expenses. So, you know, if you want to dress a certain way, look a certain way, you're not covering any of that. So the Recording Academy, the place that, you know, runs the Grammys and stuff, has apologized to Tiffany Haddish after the comedian called out the Grammys for inviting her to host the ceremony, but refusing to pay her for her time, hair, makeup, or wardrobe. It's crazy. This is absolutely crazy. So y'all not even gonna cover my expenses. Y'all won't pay me nothing, but will y'all at least give me a stipend or a vig or, you know, a little something just for, you know, everything I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to have my makeup person come in, my wardrobe person come in. Because, you know, these are not Tiffany Haddish. She's not a regular person on the street. You know, when you purchase her, you're purchasing. When you get her, you pay for the service of her, you're paying for the service of a team. And yeah, it doesn't work like this. Haddish, nominated for a 2021 Best Comedy Album, spoke out in a Variety interview published Wednesday, revealing she turned down an offer to host the Grammys pre-telecast premiere ceremony, so like the pre-party show, because she was told she would have to pay for all expenses related to the 3-hour live stream event herself. So they wanted her to work for 3 hours, no bread, and didn't even want to cover her expenses. Come on, guys, disgusting. I don't care if she's working remotely. That's still a huge celebrity. What the freak are you talking about? She's affiliated with larger celebrities. She's arguably affiliated with the biggest comedian in the game right now, Kevin Hart. Whether you like his level of talent, I didn't say he was the most talented. I would argue he's the most visible, and he's probably getting the biggest bags, save for the legends, the icons, the Chappelles of the world, and you will. You know, those are guys in a different stratosphere. I don't count them when I have this conversation. All of that would have to come out of my pocket, she told Variety. Okay, this is Variety Mag. I don't know if this might mean I might never get nominated ever again, but I think it's disrespectful. Well, I mean, of course you're not going to get nominated again. I mean, that's obvious. I mean, you know, the Grammys is always a political thing. So maybe they felt it was a quid pro quo, like, hey, we nominated you. You know, you're going to get more work and a bigger look behind that. Come host this. Maybe she was like, nah. I was like, the exposure is amazing, but I think I have enough. I appreciate you guys asking. And as much as I appreciate the honor of being nominated, that's not okay. Hadish added, likening the ordeal to being asked on a date and then being told you have to pay for it yourself. It's pretty comparable. Harvey Mason Jr., the Recording Academy interim president and CEO, posted a video to Instagram early Thursday morning apologizing to Hadish, unbeknownst to Mason, allegedly unbeknownst to Mason, because there's no way a big decision like that was being made and the interim president and CEO is not aware, hey, okay, and didn't pull the trigger on that decision himself. Tell her we ain't giving her a damn dime. Unbeknownst to Mason, the talent booker for the Academy told Hadish they wouldn't cover the cost. A talent booker. Stop it. To me, that was wrong, Mason said. I'm frustrated by that decision. It was a lapse in judgment. It was in poor taste, and it was disrespectful to the creative community. I'm part of the creative community. I know what that feels like, and it's not right. So you're telling me a paid talent booker, somebody who gets paid to organize talent to be at particular events, the middleman, you're telling me the middleman felt like they had the authority, and this could be a high-paid executive middleman, but talent bookers are just that. They're executive producers. They take you this person and put them at that place around those people, and it gets popping. And that's an excellent skill to have, because you got to have the network and the know-how and be able to negotiate those different terms and stuff. So you're telling me the middlemans, the people that hustle on the street corner, told Tiffany Haddish no. I personally don't buy it. I think they lying. The Grammys have been trashed for a while now, and when people like Kanye West do stuff like piss on his Grammy, everybody looking at him like you're crazy. Look at this. I mean, look at this. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. The two had a conversation, which Mason thanked Hadish for being gracious enough to allow. USA Today has reached out to Hadish's representatives for further comments. I apologize to her personally, and I apologize to her from the Academy. I expressed to her my regret and my displeasure about how this went down and about how this was handled. Mason said, again, I want to say, Tiffany, we are sorry, and thank you for allowing me to speak on it. And so now, you know, if she don't win, people gonna be like, she ain't win because, yeah, this whole thing looks so bad for the Grammys. And the Grammys is not having a good year. You got people like Kanye pissing on Grammy, urinating on Grammys in his toilet. You got people saying, down with the Grammys. Should we just be done with the Grammys? We need to really start to big up our own award shows. People break their necks to look right, smell right, feel good, look good for the Grammys. We'll spend the whole bag. We'll go way over budget. We'll holler at designers and try to beg designers to design for them. But at the same time, they would then turn around and tell you, we can't even cover your expenses. If I'm that level of artist and I have real serious expenses, you got to do something about that. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. This don't make no sense. Like, it's coming to the point where the Grammys just need to die. Some people want to tell them, oh, that's wrong, it's messed up, how could you say that? The Grammys just need to die. In other news, Letitia Wright is canceled, allegedly, quote unquote, canceled for sharing a controversial tweet saying people should possibly question and do research on the upcoming coronavirus vaccines before they decide to take them. So Letitia Wright is in hot water after she posted a video that questions whether people should take a COVID-19 vaccine when it becomes available. The Black Panther actress, now 27, shared the video on her Twitter account Thursday along with the praying hands emoji. By Friday, the video was removed, and the hour-long video from the YouTube channel On the Table, the host says he doesn't know if he's going to take a vaccine. The others were quick to respond to the post. Actor Alex Sawyer wrote, "This is a frustrating, irresponsible use of the platform that was filled with hyperbole and zero evidence for his hot takes." User KGLA1298 said, KGAL1298 said, "Cancel Black Panther 2 immediately," user boss_H-Town said, referring to the upcoming Marvel sequel to the Oscar-nominated 2018 superfilm. Anybody who knows Letitia Wright knows she's most famous for being the amazingly quick-witted, super intelligent sister of T'Challa in the film The Black Panther. And she was also in Avengers Infinity War. And she's actually supposed to be slated to star as the new Black Panther as it was in the comics. So will they recast her role now? This is interesting. This is very interesting. One reply even caught Wright's attention. "The concerns regarding any vaccine are understandable, but we must work as a team, take this vaccine, and put this pandemic behind us for good." User Amazing Junior 87 wrote, "I sincerely hope you understand what I'm trying to say here, and please consider your stance on this matter. You're making people upset." Wright responded, "Not my intention to make anyone upset. Prayer hands, nor am I saying don't take it. I'm just concerned about what is in it, that's all. Isn't that a fair question to ask?" Isn't that fair to question or ask? Wright later tweeted a statement about the backlash. "If you don't conform to popular opinions, but ask questions and think for yourself, you get quote-unquote canceled," she wrote with a laughing emoji. And unfortunately, we are in a society which is very groupthink, and that is very true. Whether she decides to take this vaccine or not, she should be allowed and entitled to question its contents. Every intelligent human being should be allowed to question anything going on in their lives, period. Twitter users still question the actors, including author Roxane Gay, who wrote, "Thinking for yourself doesn't mean you're right, and you aren't canceled, but damn, promoting anti-vaccine propaganda, shrouding it in intellectual curiosity is asinine and dangerous." Attacking people like this for just expressing themselves and asking a question is asinine and dangerous, because then we create a society where people feel like they can't express themselves and they have to do what everyone else is doing to remain popular, remain affiliated, remain belonged, remain in the circle, because who wants to be outside of the circle, not able to work, not able to, connect and network, not able to grow their business, not able to do the things that they enjoy doing and love doing because they have differences of opinion. This is exactly what I was talking about. Civil wars going on multiple fronts. User Jennifer wrote, quote-unquote popular opinions. You mean scientific evidence, ? Not backing down. Wright responded, "So you'll take something you haven't 100% looked into? ? On Friday, Wright issued another statement on Twitter. Get the coronavirus watch news. Oh, I'm sorry. My intentions was not to hurt anyone. I read the whole wrong part. My fault, y'all. My intentions was not to hurt anyone. My only intention of posting this video was it raise my concerns with what the vaccine contains and what we are putting in our bodies," she wrote. Nothing else. Quotes. Reps for Right and Marvel did not immediately respond to USA Today's request for comment. Yeah, this is very interesting. I'm sure much more will be shared about this story and Letitia Wright's perspective and how people feel about this. I think this, I don't think this will go away very easily at all. So, she is completely right to have her opinion and her perspective. And I gotta say, we gotta kind of just let people, if we just get into this thing where people are not allowed to question and not allowed to ask, it only takes those people. You're only going to make people more hard in their resolve if you're not open to a dialogue. It's like telling a kid, yo, don't do something, but never taking the time to explain why you feel that might not be the best thing for the child to be engaging in, whatever it is. If it's premarital sex, if it's sex just way too young, if it's cutting school, joining a gang, doing drugs, selling drugs. Same thing with adults. If you don't want, and even more with an adult, you're asking grown people who feel that they have now achieved a particular level of maturity and or status in life, not to be allowed to use their voice. And if they want to share that voice across platforms, which are allegedly for people to be able to talk and speak and communicate and share differing opinions, what type of world are we going toward? Stuff sound kind of crazy. I don't think that's what we want at all. I think we want to be able to hear each other and share thoughts with each other. Just my ghetto point of view. Just his ghetto point of view. But anyway, guys, I thank you guys so much for rocking and vibing with us as always. This has definitely been a dope show. Take a quick break real quick. Be right back. What's going on, gang? So, a couple more things before we get out of here today, gang. And I just want to say thank you so much. And please continue to like, share, and subscribe to the show. Tell a friend to tell a friend. His Ghetto Point of View. Wednesdays and Sundays. You know how we do it. We do it like we do it. We do it like it's nothing to it. We get it in out here. Check us out, man. Check us out. His Ghetto Point of View at gmail.com for all questions, comments, critiques, criticisms. Curse me out and show me love. If you have a product that you'd like to get in front of our amazing, diverse audience, his Ghetto Point of View at gmail.com. His Ghetto Point of View at gmail.com. Also, guys, please feel free to donate, support independent media on paypal.me/PhantomFuego or phantomfuego@gmail.com, PHANTMPHUEGO@gmail.com, or if you have Venmo, Phantom, PHANTM hyphen, which is the dash in the middle, not the underscore line at the bottom, the dash, Fuego, PHUEGO -42, the number 4, the number 2, so that's Phantom-Fuego-42. That's on Venmo and in the PayPal. I'm here for it, guys, and I appreciate all the love and support. Lil Wayne sells his catalog for $100 million. Woo! Lil Wayne sells his Universal Masters for $100 million, or the piece of the masters that he owns. Some people think this is a great move. Some people are like, well, he has a lot of legal issues coming up. He may need the money. I think it's a very short-sighted move. I don't ever side with creatives permanently selling the rights to their creative works, especially works that can make your family money forever and ever. That catalog is insanely valuable. It can make his family money for generations to come. some people would say, well, you know, maybe Wayne ain't thinking about his family. Maybe Wayne is just thinking about himself and what he can do in the immediate future. Or maybe Wayne has some plans where he can flip that money into bigger and better ventures for his family. You would only hope, time will only tell. But I think it's a little crazy to do this personally, but you know, we'll see. According to TMZ, Lil Wayne is cashing in. The Young Money boss has reportedly sold his masters to Universal Music Group for more than $100 million, according to TMZ. The lucrative deal happened in June, but was not made public until now as part of a lawsuit from Wayne's former manager. Cortez. Jesus. Shout out to Cortez. I feel Cortez was one of the dopest managers in the game, and I feel a lot of the issues that he had with Wayne was because he was trying to get Wayne to sober up and to, you know, kind of become the person he is now becoming with more maturity and understanding and, you know, better wife by his side. You know, the things that happen after, you know, life hits you. So Ronald Sweeney is suing Wayne. Oh, this is a whole different manager, for over $20 million, claiming the rapper hired him in 2005 to help renegotiate his deal with Birdman and Cash Money. Wayne settled the Cash Money suit in May of 2018, but Sweeney says he only received a few payments from that settlement, which was nowhere near what he believes he's owed. Well, my question would that be, did they have a particular contract, or is he just feeling like he should get this money? Sweeney also said that around that same time, Wayne asked him to fire his longtime manager, Cortez Bryant, shout out to Cortez, over a conflict of interest in a legal dispute involving Drake and Cash Money. Sweeney also says he did so and took over Bryant's duties and even got Wayne to raise his commission from 10 to 17%. However, Sweeney claims Bryant and Mac Mange conspired to drive a wedge between him and Wayne, which resulted in Sweeney's firing in September 2018. I mean, what did you think? Cortez was just going to go quietly into the night? That doesn't make any sense. That dude helped build your career. Stop it. Wayne's reported $100 million deal comes after Kanye West tried to buy back his masters from Universal over the summer. However, he said his efforts were being thwarted by several contracts he signed. He tweeted out over 100 pages of legal documents while suggesting new guidelines for recording and publishing deals. And of course, West, as you guys remember, famously also announced that he would give back the 50% share he owns of Good Music's artists' masters, a move that was supported by Big Shine, Designer, and many other artists on the Good Music label. This is very interesting. I just personally think it's never a good move. Yeah, it might help him in the short term. He might, to get over all of these different legal issues he's having. And $100 million, if managed properly, is a ton of money, and he will be able to make money, still performing these songs live, etc. But I don't know, guys. I'm never, the licenses and the products will always last longer than you being able to physically go out there and do the work. You know what I mean? Those songs will be put into different movies and videos and video games, and there's commercials. There's such a slew of money available from the licensing space. Our artists like Lil Wayne could really get to it, and especially if he literally has control of his masters. He could literally just set up a deal with a licensing agency to help him license more music. Yes, that wouldn't give him the immediate bolster of finance that he would get with a $100 million deal, but nonetheless, a dude like Wayne would make tons of money, way more than $100 million, just getting those licenses. Again, it wouldn't happen in one day, and the licensing money wouldn't trickle in overnight. But he could get a licensing deal or a co-publishing deal with a big publisher for like a 10 or 15, even a 20-year lease of his music, and have gotten close to $100 million. He did not have to sell his music flat out. I do not agree with that at all. He has too many big hit records that people would love to put in movies, love to put in TV shows, love to play at big venues and big stores. To me, it's just crazy. I don't see the reason for it. But whatever his reasons were, I wish him the best. I hope that he gets what he needs out of this at the end of the day. Of course, I'm sure he'll put some to the side for his beautiful daughter and the rest of the fam. But yeah, this is crazy, man. To me, it's just makes no sense. And more, Young Money, Cash Money, OVO news. Drake has, some people want to say, quote unquote, started, I would say expanded his partnership with Nike, because come on, anybody who's seen any of the songs off his latest project, his latest singles that he's been offering up, they all just look like Nike commercials. You know what I mean? Tissy Slide, and the name of the second single escapes me. Ooh, with the Ooh Baby hook. They doing all this and all that. The joint that he got with Lil Durk on it. Please do not play the Boy in the Club, because we do not listen to rats. Hey! Yeah, really shout to Durk. He's having an amazing year too. But so to me, the Nike relationship has already been going for quite a while. You're not gonna get Kevin Durant. You're not gonna have Kevin Durant and all these people in your music video, especially during a time of a quarantine. If y'all shot it during the quarantine, y'all might have shot this a year or two ago, and now y'all just putting it out. You know what I mean? These people, they plan things that far in advance. But anyway, so I feel he's just expanding on his relationship with Nike by now putting out a clothing line. And people were always wondering, when is Drake gonna release a line? And in all these new music videos, he was just being in tons of Nike gear from head to toe. And so, it only makes sense that they continue this relationship by now officially formalizing the brand. And I'm sure they were waiting to see the reaction to the songs, and if it was the right time. And it seems, and it's the brand is called Nocturn. And according to GQ magazine, Drake is launching an entirely new label with Nike. Nocta is an unprecedented partnership between the swoosh and anyone not named Michael Jordan. Rappers used to compete with one another over number one albums, chart-topping singles, and diss tracks. In 2020, a different sort of arms race has ensued as musicians attempt to stockpile the very best brand partnerships, and that's a whole fact, because that is how you're gonna eat now. There's no live shows for a while, so better get to it. Anyway, continuing on with the article, Kanye inked a 10-year deal to make clothes with The Gap. J Balvin hooked up with McDonald's and Jordan. Travis Scott did the same, and through PlayStation, a cologne company, and a booze conglomerate into the mix for good measure. Drake, meanwhile, shot the video for Laugh Now, Cry Later, the lead single off his upcoming Certified Lover Boy, on Nike campus, and dropped the collection with the swoosh for CLB before even putting out the music. Certified Lover Boy, who needs an album when you have a heart-quilted pink puffer instead? Now Drake, a Jordan collaborator since 2013, is taking his relationship with Nike to the next level with the release of a new sub-label called Nocta, N-O-C-T-A. Nocta, named for the Champagne Poppy's nocturnal creative process, is an unprecedented partnership for Nike. The sportswear giant has given Drake very much not one of the elite athletes. Oh my God, the sportswear giant has given Drake, this is a stupid sentence, please GQ, get better writers, something akin to MJ's Jordan brand, his very own label. It is with its own name and everything. It's Nocta, not Nike and Drake, not Nocta by Nike, just Nocta. Of course, for Drake, the idea of reaching the same pinnacle as the greatest basketball player of all time was the point. I always felt like there was an opportunity for Nike to embrace and entertain it the same way they had athletes. He wrote in a note about the collection on Nike's website. I thought about how crazy it would be to have been, how crazy it would have been, and what it would mean, what it meant for an artist to have a flagship Nike deal. Nocta is inspired by a uniform Drake's clocked in Toronto, Paris, and New York. Nike Tech fleece, the gloves, the hat. According to the rapper, the 3 photos released of Nocta thus far hew closely to that uniform. Yo, this is horribly written. Each features a yellow, orange, or black puffer over a matching sweatsuit. On the back hem of the yellow puffer are the initials CL, certified lover, cry later, quote unquote, while the black jacket features a puffed up swoosh, and on the chest of the orange version is the brand's name, Nocta. Nocta is about creating something for the people on the move, people who want functional, comfortable fits that are adaptable from one environment to the next, he writes. Doing his best impression of your friend with a new streetwear brand. It's characterized by the type of people who are on the road all day, all night, the grinders, the hard workers, trying to accomplish their goals and taking no shortcuts. Hey, man. It's a smart move. It's very dope. Definitely a smart move. It's definitely a smart move. It's definitely a smart move. If 2020 is really an arms race of collaborations, Nocturn might be the A-bomb of linking and building. Swoosh is selective when it comes to partnerships and entertainers. Scott has his collaborations, and Nike put out album merch for Kendrick Lamar's Damn, but in recent years has opted to work with fashion artists. Adidas is the sportswear company that works with the likes of Pharrell and Jonah Hill. Even Kanye, after launching a pair of beloved shoes, had to sever his relationship with Nike to get his own Nocta-like sub-label. Drake, of course, has already dissed Kanye's new Gap deal. Distance between us is not like a store. This isn't a closable gap. Oh no, distance between us is not like a store. Distance between us is not like a store. This isn't a closable gap. Hey, distance between us is not like a store. This isn't a closable gap. He rapped on Laugh Now, Cry Later. Dang. Whew, shots fired. Over his career, Drake has been almost maniacally loyal to Nike. Before a brief dalliance with Adidas in 2018, Drake has made numerous pointed pledges of loyalty to his shoe brand of choice. He's photoshopped Adidas logos out of pictures, rapped about checks over stripes on his Sicko Mode feature, and made a very specific reference to his Jordans in the In My Feelings video. This opportunity is something that I've been waiting on for a really long time, Drake writes in his note for Nike. He won't have to wait much longer. Nocta's first drop launches December 18th. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. I think this is dope. I think this is excellent. I'm sure a ton of people will cop some Nike fits that Drake wears. Nike stuff, it's functional, it's comfortable. I have on a pair of Nike slides now. I love Nike stuff. I have tons of Nikes, exclusive Nikes, all type of sneakers. I'm definitely a sneakerhead, and definitely Nikes fill up a large part of that collection. So, it makes sense. He's one of the best hip hop artists right now, and arguably will go down as one of the best hip hop artists of all time. And the numbers say he's at the top of his game. And Jordan is at the top of his game and went out on the top of his game, just like Drake will as his rap career, and he goes into more his mogul leadership role, continues to transition and roll over. So I think it just makes sense all around the board. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. Once again, guys, this is his ghetto point of view, bringing you the news, views, reviews, news, views, previews, and reviews with just a twist of his ghetto point of view. Before I get out of here, one last thing, just want to give a shout out to LiAngelo Ball, Lonzo Ball, and Jello Ball. 3 Ball brothers was on an NBA court this week. I don't care if Jello was just a ball boy. I don't care if they used the ball boy as a ball boy. Oh, balls. I don't care if they used the ball boy as a ball boy. You would take that opportunity too. You would take the opportunity to practice next to Derrick Rose and Blake Griffin. You would take the opportunity to be there shooting threes, going back to back in practice with Svi Mikhailuk and the rest. You would take that opportunity. You would battle Jeremy Lamb for that final spot. You would do all of those things. Whether he makes the final team or not after the preseason is over, this dude has done something very few had. Hopefully he makes a G League team and he gets to rock out. The love, the attention they've been getting, the traction they've been getting to everything, all the content they've been posting, particularly on the Detroit Pistons page, it all says, release Jello, let Jello out, we want Jello. If you think the NBA is not paying attention to that, if you think the NBA is not understanding that this is about entertainment and selling tickets and putting butts in seats, selling streams, selling subscriptions, selling services, then you're lying to yourself. Jello will be an NBA player. May not be this year, it may take time, but he will be on a roster and he will be a consistent contributor to a roster because A, he's just that good, and B, it's about putting butts in the seats. It's entertainment. Shout to Melo. Melo had 10 rebounds and 4 assists, 5, maybe 5 if they counted the last one. In his debut, he was 0 for 5 from the field, 0 for 3 from behind the 3, missed 2 layups. That's all right. He got scorers on the team. They put him with that starting lineup, let him get comfortable with them. I don't think they lose many games this season. You have a 6'8" point guard, maybe 6'9" in shoes, who can box out, grab a rebound, and get the ball going. And he got his head up, eyes up, and he looking to pass. And when he not passing the ball, he ready to drop 90. I think it's an amazing accomplishment for that family. Salute to LaVar Ball once again. Shouts to Tina Ball. There's an excellent piece Ball Is Life just did where they just honored Tina Ball. I didn't know she was the athletic director at a middle school out there in California. I knew she was a teacher, but she was literally the athletic director at the middle school out there in the Chino Hills area. And she was at the school for like 24 years and literally just stopped being at the school in 2017. So, I mean, she was literally arguably still going to continue working as the athletic director at this school while her children were playing NBA ball. So the humility, number one, the humility is beautiful. The humility, the hunger, the passion, the desire to, continue out and to continue to give love to the community, because Big Bowler brand had already been popping by 2017 to a degree. She could have just sat back and been like, I'm going to be one of these NBA moms. I don't have to do nothing. But no, that wasn't the type of person she was. And these people celebrated her and honored her, gave her plaques and stuff. Ball Is Life followed them around for the day. It was dope. Jello, Melo, and Zoe all came out. The school gave her a plaque and honored her. Jello, Zoe, and Melo took some pictures. And then Melo gave a nice, very touching speech to the kids. That family was raised the right way because they had 2 stellar parents. Shout to Tina for 24 years of amazing service. Shout to them Ball boys. Y'all gonna tear the league on fire. Shout to LaVar for being the patriarch of such an amazing family and being able to have such an amazing queen by his side to do, who both looked at the world and said, we about to tear this thing up. I think it's a beautiful thing, man. And we're going to end it on that positive note, guys. Thank you so much for rocking with us and vibing with us. This has been His Ghetto Point of View, bringing you the news, views, previews, and reviews with just a twist of His Ghetto Point of View. Hope y'all enjoy y'all week. Catch me on Wednesday. We get into it. You know how we do it. Like it's nothing to it. Love always, gang. Love always, gang. His Ghetto Point of View at gmail.com is the place to reach us. His Ghetto Point of View is the place to reach us. Have a great one. See you Wednesday. Peace.